on now, baby. There it goes. We are on. Welcome to the Limitless Barbershop Podcast, episode 5. Got my brother, my boy, Jesus the Barber from Ohio, Toledo, Ohio. Stand up, baby. One of my best friends, one of my favorite people in the world. Introduce yourself, my friend.
My name's Jesus. I go by Jesus Juice 7 on Instagram.
Jesus Juice.
And I've been cutting hair for about 10, 12 years now. But I got licensed probably around like 2015, I believe, is when I started.
That's when you became a barber.
Yeah.
I feel you, man. That's a dying thing, that's for sure. Ohio, man, stand up for sure. You know, Ohio, the laws over there are a little bit different from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy used to work with me. How long ago now?
I think it was like 2016. I think it was somewhere around there.
See, when you worked for me over here, you was on the team probably, 6 years ago now? 6 years ago? Damn, that's a long ass time. I can't believe it. But you were here probably good, close to a year.
Yeah.
And ever since, you left, you went back to Ohio, we still stayed in contact, still kept it A1 since day one, man. And that's why this guy right here is my fifth guy. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah,
so we still talk almost every day. Sometimes there's a few little weeks to go in, we don't talk to each other, but for sure, man, that's my boy. So tell me how things are going down there.
Everything's going good right now, man. I just recently moved back from Vegas, so I think that was about 6 months now, man, since I moved back from there. But everything's going good though, man. You know what I mean?
What's the barbershop you're working at?
Thurman's Barbershop.
Yeah,
Shout out Thurman's Barbershop.
Yeah, you guys are keeping it real over there at Thurman's. I see you.
No, it is, man. I work with a good group of guys. We actually started working together. We met each other in barber school, and we kind of clicked right away. You know what I mean? And from there, kind of just started out as us being friends at barber school. We didn't really like talk outside of school at all, but as time went on, we kind of got really cool. You know what I mean? Then we got the idea, like, why don't we all just work together when we get out of school? You know what I mean?
Man, that's the most beautiful thing. Chemistry, man. Amongst barbers is the most beautiful thing.
Without
chemistry, man, it just don't work out. And not everybody laughs at the same shit,
Yeah.
And when you work with me, first time I think I said something, I don't know what it is, and the way that you laughed about it, I'm like, all right, you're in.
Yeah.
Then you come at me with some stupid shit after that, I'm like, all right, we click like that, boom. You know what I mean?
But it was actually funny, because remember when I first met you, I was like real quiet, because I was like,
God, you were creeping me out.
No, you were creeping me out, because I was like, I remember going home and I was like talking to my parents about it and stuff. I'm like, man, that dude's cool. He's kind of weird, man. Like, he's quiet, we don't really know what he's about.
I was quiet.
You were like the humor, like it took a minute to get used to your humor. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like really dry. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
But I mean, it's a good thing. Now I get it now. At first, though, I was like, I don't know what I'm saying. This dude's cool or not, or what?
Same thing with you, man. I came home, I was like, yeah, homeboy, man, I don't know. He seems kind of quiet. Like he's hiding something, like you're a serial killer possibly. So come to find out, you ended up being all right. But here goes the thing. I think most of the people, I think everyone that I had on this damn show, when I first met him, man, I was kind of weary about him.
Right.
Because that's the way I am. When you first meet me, I'm not gonna. It's kind of like a different vibe, It takes us like a day for me to really, really come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we ended up, man, freaking laughing at all the same stupid ass movies. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it is, man. We a lot of the same songs and a lot of the same like movie jokes constantly.
Hell yeah.
It was definitely fun though, man. Really
that shit's lit, man. But you're definitely putting it down over in Ohio, man. And
man.
What's your Instagram handle? Is
Jesus Juice 7, but with 2 eyes in the juice.
Yep.
So Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
Jesus Juice 7 with 2 eyes.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, tell him. Every Christmas, don't I call you in the morning and tell you happy birthday?
Yeah, you do.
Every Christmas, I gotta call this guy and tell him happy birthday. That shit's funny. But back to Las Vegas. So you were cutting over there. You were you were close to downtown. What, 10 minutes away?
It was about 15. It was actually in Henderson. No, Henderson's like a small town. Like it's broken up into towns in Vegas. So like you got like where I was living at was Summerlin. Then you got Henderson, and then you got, you know what I mean? There's different parts of Vegas, just like anything else. But where I was at was called Henderson, and it was like it was cool. It wasn't like a real rich town, but it wasn't like poor either. You know what I'm saying? It's like working class.
Yeah, middle class.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get to Vegas. I went there last November, and I was very, very privileged, man, to have this guy come to my hotel, butter me up. I felt like I was a celebrity, man, for sure. I'm up in the hotel room getting blended or whatever, and man, that shit was so on point. And I'll tell you, it definitely made the whole week go by fresher, because without a haircut, I would have been like,
Yeah.
But I knew you were gonna cut my hair, so that's why I didn't get a haircut before I went. But that shit was lit, man.
It was, man.
Remember that time, man? You put that design on the top of my head all crazy.
What was that at?
That was at the art fair.
Yeah, you complained about it the entire time. Too.
No, I wasn't complaining. I was just getting judged. I was saying, they're like, what the fuck?
Hey,
I was like, go ahead and put me a little part. Hit me with the whole damn design on the top of my head.
Hey, dude, remember how hot it was?
Oh my god, that's why I never do that again.
It was like 101, I think 102, dude. That was
never
miserable,
bro. Every year, we were talking about doing it again, and I'm just like, you know what? It is not worth it to go down there and cut hair unless you have a product, man. And it's great to go down there and promote yourself, and let's say you have a pomade or you want to pass out some flyers, but cutting hair down there, that was the dumbest shit I ever thought about doing ever, because we got the tent, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, all right, it's gonna be hot, so what can we do? And I went out and bought remember that portable air conditioner I had?
Yeah, it did
like
nothing.
That was gonna do something?
It did absolutely nothing.
Dog, I remember there was one, it was, every day was really hot, but there was one day in particular, which was a Wednesday. Oh my God, man, it was so hot that we turned down customers the whole day, and people were like, getting that looking at me like, what, you serious? What are you're not gonna come out here? I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna cut your hair. You know what I mean? But tell me it wasn't live at night though.
Oh, it was, but no, you should probably explain to people what the art fair even is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the art fair is here in Wyandotte every year. I believe it's in July. July, and it's right here in Biddle, and local businesses and people that do art and food and whatever. It's like arts beats and eats, basically. A lot of people know what that is. Same thing like that. You just have you have your tent set up, and you have your product, and you promote yourself, and people come and buy stuff. And I had a bunch of layrite, probably $1,000 worth, if I'm not exaggerating.
Oh yeah, it was
melted. Yep,
it was like
melted all down there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but that was a good time, because I remember when nighttime came, we were putting in designs and stuff like in people's head down there, and then we felt like, man, this shit's kind of live, because there was probably a good 30, 40 people, man, out front of our tent videotaping us. Remember that?
Yeah.
So it was cool, man. It's good memories, but never again.
No, the best part of it was the mojitos though, huh?
Oh my God, man. Yeah, we were drinking like crazy
stuff
down there. I wouldn't take it back, man. That was a great memory for sure, man.
Yeah, it really was.
That shit was live. And we were thinking about maybe doing it next year. Just don't cut hair. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, what would you do though? Because I mean, obviously
Well,
you can't
you
cut
would-
hair in this whole.
No, you would go down there, man, and people coming by, you just promote yourself and try to sign them up and stuff like that because we do online appointments here. So
Yeah,
if we were to put somebody in the system, and set them up with an appointment down there, that'll go a long way.
Or maybe if you do maybe cut only 3 people the entire time. You know what I'm saying? For maybe
At
one
night?
No, I'm saying one in the morning, one during the day, and then one when it gets dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if not, you're just standing around kind of looking goofy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all good, man. But I'll tell you what, I've been doing this since I was 14 years old, and I still love it just as much as I ever did. Like, I love to cut hair, but there has been some times where I got burnt out because of myself. You know what I mean? You're taking on too much, especially when you own the barbershop, and you have people that you're managing, and you're basically doing too much, and that's when you start to get say you lose your passion for your craft. I've done that a few times in my past, and I admit it. It is what it is, but now I know how to manage everything differently to where you're not overwhelmed. And how do you feel, man? Do you ever get overwhelmed?
Yeah, there's definitely days. I mean, I feel like even if you love something, which I love cutting hair, you know what I mean, but
yeah,
there are some days, I can't lie, you wake up and you kind of just lay there like, man, I really I want to get up, you know what I mean? But obviously, you do, but sometimes it does, man. There's days just like anything else. There's certain basketball players that probably don't feel like playing basketball today. There's probably Major League Baseball players don't feel like playing baseball, but we're still human at the end of the day.
Right there, period.
You know what I mean? And I wouldn't say it was a burnt out thing, but I do have days where, you know, I'm not really, it's not something I feel like doing that day, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah, but no, like I said, I definitely, but overall, I'd say I'm doing something that I'm not miserable doing.
Hell
at the
no,
end of the day,
man.
you know what I mean? I'm giving a service and I get to pretty much kick it all day.
Yeah, for
So I
sure.
can't really complain, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're definitely blessed to be doing this because we get to talk to different people every day, you know, meet new people. It's just like basically, man, the way that things are nowadays, man, you're like a rock star.
Right.
If you're at that level,
Right.
which is the shit. And I love where the barber industry has what it has become.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I first started cutting hair, like I said, I was 14 years old. It was a bet. I'm sure you heard the story before.
Yeah, yeah.
And started cutting hair after that. Ride around on my bike with a backpack, bootleg ass pair of Conairs. Hey, let me cut your hair. Let me cut your hair. Graduated from high school. Went straight to barber college a year later. Graduated in 2002. And at that time, man, things were a lot more strict.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna get into that in a minute too, as well. You know, back then, if you didn't have a license, you ain't getting a hair. You're not getting a job anywhere. Not even in the hood.
You're saying when you first came up?
When 2002, my first job out of barber college was at Unique's. Shout out to Unique's, UNEEK,
Mm-hmm.
on Michigan Avenue. Jennifer was her name, and I graduated, got 2,000 hours, and I failed my test, my state exam, because I thought it was a lot easier than what it was. That ain't no joke. I don't know how it is in Ohio, but
It was a barber test?
yes. Physiology and anatomy, man, freaking bone structure, it was crazy. So I failed it the first time, and I remember she was like, "Hey, you still not licensed?" She was like, and this is in the hood too.
Right.
I was like, I'll get it down to it. She said, "Hey, you gotta go right now, and then when you pass your test, come back." You know. So how is it as in that aspect in Ohio
As far
to this
as
day?
As far as what
Licensing.
Licensing. Well, I think it's Ohio and I want to say Minnesota are the two strictest states, like out of all, as far as like everything, like hours.
How many hours?
Sanitary. Ours is 1,800 hours. In Minnesota, I think it's almost double. I think. Don't quote me, but I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
But ours is 1,800 hours, which is like end up being 40 hours a week. But I don't know if you do the math. It's like 13 months. You know, if you don't miss a day, you know what I mean.
It's 1,800 now. Here it was 2,000 when I went.
But no, they don't. I mean, it's hard to say, but like at the time, because they're merging the cosmetology and the barbering board together.
Oh yeah.
So like it's in a weird state right now. You know what I'm saying? Where like before, when it was just barbering and then you got your cosmetology, like barbering was strict. Like our state board is strict. You know what I mean? And so lately I know like because they're trying to make it so like cosmetologists can come through and check out barbershops. You know what I'm saying? So like, but I mean not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just feel like if you've never like cosmetology and barbering is complete. Like we still do hair, but at the same time it's different. Like we don't really do like hair coloring like they do. We don't really, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The sanitary like rules is a lot different between the two. But as far as licensing though, man, they take that pretty serious in Ohio.
Yeah.
They really do. Like if you don't have a license, man, either two things gonna happen. Like, A, you're not ever gonna be able to get a license as it is. Like they'll make it so you can never do it. Mm-hmm. Or two, you're gonna get a fine. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But it is pretty strict though, man.
I had a guy work for me years and years ago from Cincinnati. He was a licensed barber. Yeah. And he told me that, dusters. Yeah. He said you get caught using that, what, $500?
Yeah, right off rip. Like
that's crazy.
Even if it's like, say you got it in a box and then even like out and like, you know what I mean? They see it, $500. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy because like and I put it on Instagram that I got a cease and desist notice for my barbershop. It was like a month ago, and I definitely didn't take it serious because of the way the barber industry, what it has become here in Michigan. It's like, okay, you sure you're gonna do something?
Right.
But there was a lady, I think they called on somebody I had working here before, and I think it was her because it takes like a whole year for them to come and do something, I heard. And the board came in here and it was just me and Amanda. Amanda's a licensed cosmetologist. Okay. And she was looking around, she didn't see nothing that she wanted to see, so she was like, all right, well, you can't be working as a cosmetologist in a barbershop doing barbering. What? Oh yeah? So she was like, yeah, well you need she's saying that I don't have a license for my barbershop. So I'm like, what the fuck? I passed, in 2005, the state board came here and they did their initial inspection, and I passed everything. Mm-hmm. So there's no way possible I didn't have a barber's shop license. Right. So I dug deeper, and when I first opened the shop, it was under a different name. You know,
Right.
J Styles Barber Shop, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So the license under that a different name, okay, not under Limitless. So that's why she gave me the ticket saying we didn't have a license. So I took care of all that. But it's crazy that they would come in here and try to basically say that Amanda cannot use the straight razor.
But that is part
That
of it.
is true. But nowadays, the barber industry has become, there isn't, I'm going to have to go and say 70% of the barbers, man, are not licensed at all.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean,
If I'm not wrong with that number.
no, I think that's right. But I know, like, when I was in Michigan, when I was working, I know that, at least for me, I know, like, there's a lot of spots that was unlicensed.
Yeah.
And I'm not naming no names, but I've been in shops as well that didn't have licensed barbers in it. You know what I mean? But that's just, I don't know, it's a touchy subject, man. Cause I don't
Definitely
wanna,
is.
Because I don't want to seem like, because anytime you talk about something that's
No,
obviously,
people get offended and shit like that, of course, and I understand where you're coming from with that 100%.
I just feel like I don't have a problem with it because obviously at one point I was working in a shop
Stay in our lane.
illegally, you know what I mean? I was, but I was also in barber school at the time.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like the way I was doing it is almost like how, engineers, they do a co-op where, you're working through school, you know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of like what I was doing. So, I mean, obviously it's wrong, but at the same time, I feel like it shouldn't be wrong because I'm getting a head start above everybody else. So I feel like anybody should be able to do that. If you're in school, you should be able to go to a shop maybe like a couple weeks here and there, you know what I mean, to kind of get the feel, and instead of being like, okay, here's a license, go. Unless, like, say if you had nobody, like, say if I didn't have you, somebody to kind of like take me in and show me, oh, like, this is the right way to do this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just going out there and I'm, you know what I mean, like a deer in headlights. I think that's, it's dumb to me.
Yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up right now is because what the barber industry has become is not anybody's fault. It is the fault of the state, okay?
Yeah.
Because here goes the thing. You think for 1 second, back in 02, if I could go get a job, I would have went to school? Hell no. I would have never went to barber college. I would have had no reason for it,
Right.
And it is what it is. So that's 2,000 hours, a lot of money, state board exams. So basically I got off the phone with the people from the state, and they basically told me that by me having a license, they have jurisdiction to govern me because I have a number. So if I didn't have one, they really cannot, basically they can, but they won't do anything because they don't have a number in order to prosecute or whatever that might be.
Right.
So that's crazy, but it's like this. It's been going on for 10 plus years, and they have so many because it's the state that allowed this to happen. There's so many unlicensed barbers now that they can't really do anything about it. They're just overwhelmed, right? So they said they don't have the manpower basically in order to do anything. So what's going to happen is, not to get political, but just like the government here in the United States of America, how they're going to do the wall now, and strict immigration laws. Basically, a kid comes over here when he's 2 years old with his parents. Okay, he doesn't know anything. He's just a little kid. He's grew up here. He doesn't even know Spanish. He's been here 35 years. He has a family. He has a house. He has a mortgage. Right. And now all of a sudden, because they let this go on for so long, now they want to come in and they want to send them back and freaking do all this crazy shit. So guess what? It's their fault for letting it go on, but now you're ruining somebody's life because they've been here for so long. So they're going to send them back to wherever they came from in the first place, and they're like, all right, figure it out. Same thing with the barber industry. What they're going to do is they let this go on for so long, and anybody that's unlicensed or been doing this for a long time, you know what I mean, been cutting hair without a license, is it their fault? Because why would they go to barber college if there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no penalty for it.
Right, no, I get it.
I wouldn't have went either. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to get together one day and they're going to be like, all right, we're going to start boom, 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 boom. All right, well, fucking this dude over here, been cut, he opened up a shop. He has barbers. This motherfucker got like 5 kids.
Yeah.
He has a mortgage. Now you're going to go and shut this dude down because of your guys' fucking... lack of doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I get
so it's fucked up, man.
I get what you're saying, but like, I don't know. To me, like, I mean, I try to keep my mouth shut on it a lot because
Everybody does. It's one of those things that a lot of people are thinking it, but nobody will say it. And it's not disrespectful whatsoever.
It's not, because at the end of the day, it's still an opinion. Like, what my opinion don't mean shit.
Exactly.
But I just feel like if you like, there's nothing wrong with cutting hair. Like, I love it. I mean, I have a passion for hair. If other people have a passion for it, you know what I mean, so be it. That's great. You know what I mean. There's enough money to go around. I'm not gonna try to put you down because thinking that's gonna make me money. You know what I mean. But at the same, I just feel like this. Okay, look, when I was at barber school, I was working at Best Buy while I was there for like the first half of it, and pretty much making nothing. You know what I mean? You got to be there from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So it's like a job. You're 40 hours into school, and at the time I wasn't getting paid at all. I'm just doing free haircuts the whole time. You know what I mean? So I just feel like the whole license thing is almost kind of like a brotherhood type deal. Like, why have that license? You had that license. I know what you had to go through and sacrifice in order to get that license. Where somebody else, off the street, kind of just, well, I'm gonna go in the shop and work here because they're letting me, but you didn't put no dirty work or no time in, and you're kind of it's watering the industry down. You know what I mean? Exactly. It's kind of disrespectful because it's like other people that had to bust their ass and sacrifice time with whether they got kids or a job, you know what I mean? Like, it's still 1,800 hours of your life that you had to give up in order to get this career. And now, you know what I mean? I say I had to do a year of schooling, right? I put in a year of schooling, and you gotta think it's going to be, unless, you know what I mean, you're kind of popping in school already, but you got another 2 years before to build your clientele up. And say if I go to a shop that's already just giving me clients and I didn't even have to work for it or nothing, that's kind of like, you know what I mean? To me, it's a little...
Oh, that's a fact right there. It's definitely unfair.
It is.
No other way to put it. But like I said, in the defense of the people that are unlicensed, I would have did the same thing. Yeah, and there's no incentive for them to go to school because the state has not did anything. But now they want to come in here and cease and desist. You know what that word means, right? They're talking about if I don't get a proper license for whatever it is they want, they are going to put a chain on my barbershop. The industry that I've dedicated my life to this industry since I was a little kid. And like I said, man, in order to go to barber college, you have to have a high school diploma. My mom would have beat my ass if I didn't graduate, but I probably it would have been rough for me, man. I wouldn't have had no drive to really graduate from high school if I knew that the reason I did is because I knew that I wanted to go to barber college. That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
And nowadays, man, people wake up one day, boom, 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 like, all right, I'm gonna be a barber. Go to Sally's, get a pair of clippers. You got a job, $30 a haircut. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it sucks because a lot of people that don't, you know what I mean? Like, okay, say for that instance, like you said, they own the shop and they're cutting hair or whatever. Like, you didn't go to school, so you have no knowledge. You don't know what's allowed. You don't know what's allowed. You don't know about sanitation. What I should actually sanitize, because cool care is not sanitation. It's a temporary cleaning, but it's not a long-term thing. You can't just spray cool care thinking it's going to get rid of everything. You know what I mean? A lot of the law, you don't know it. So just imagine, like, you go to the dentist, and you go to that guy, same thing. A guy woke up, I'm going to be a dentist today. I'm going to get some pliers to drill. And he's drilling in your mouth, and he don't know nothing about keeping your, you know what I mean, your tooth clean. And now you got an infection. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing. I know it's kind of a little extreme, but... That you know what I mean, that happens. You can still get staph, you could get ringworm, there's a lot of things you could still get, and a lot of people I feel like don't care because those kind of people I feel like they do it for the money. We're kind of like, I kind of do it for passion. Well, obviously the money's good, like I want to get paid, I'm not an idiot, but I just feel like at the end of the day I do it because I love giving people a great service and a great time when they come in the barbershop. To me, at the end of the day, because if you do it for love, the money's going to come regardless. If you do it for the money first and the love second, you're going to get burned out before anything, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's just my take on it.
No, it's the truth, man. Like, here goes the thing. I don't like, anytime on this podcast when I bring up a situation, I would never persecute a whole group of people. Like, let's just say unlicensed barbers or Democrats or Republicans or whatever it might be, because there's different type situations, different stories in every group of people.
Yeah.
And I know some unlicensed barbers, man. These motherfuckers, man, are flawless, man, with the sanitation, haircuts, customer service. But I'm gonna have to say that a majority of them are not. You know what I mean? A majority of them are doing it for the paper and not the passion. But then again, you got some licensed barbers that are straight ass at everything.
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's one thing I want to like make clear
But-
that. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm saying I want to make clear that just because you're licensed does not make you better than nobody else whatsoever. Like it just makes you.
When it comes down to cutting.
As far as skill wise, like just because somebody has a license and you don't, you may be better than him. You know what I mean? It's hard. There's a lot of people just like anything else. There's people that's in the NBA that's great, and there's people that's semi good. You know what I mean? Just like anything else. So I don't want to take away from that.
Yeah.
Just because I got a license, I'm way better than you at everything. 'Cause that's not true at all. That's not what I'm saying. It's
But by you having a license, you have a number, and you're a professional barber. Do you feel that an unlicensed barber is still be called a barber?
an unlicensed barber.
An unlicensed, well, that kind of, yeah.
And so
You know what I'm saying?
that's what you're asking.
Is it
Unlicensed
still
barber.
would you still be considered a barber, or are they more like a
I don't
cutter, or what?
I don't consider it a barber. I don't, because
No?
I feel like I had sacrificed over a year of my life to be considered a barber. You get what I mean? That's just
Yeah.
like my dad. Okay, my dad for one, he's a pipe fitter.
Yeah.
And he's had to do travel work. We had to go to different states. You know what I mean? And work with different people. And like, say if that job's not really strict as far as like union wise, they can bring people off the street, and now they have the title of welder. Where my dad had to put in the time, sacrifice, time with us as kids, and all that. You know what I mean? To be where he's at now, to be a licensed. And you got these other people, that same thing coming in, and they hired, because it's cheaper, and so they come in and get the same pay as him, and you know what I mean? It's the same kind of the same concept.
Yeah, but that industry would never let that type of thing happen. It's
Right.
the barber industry, and it's the state that is allowing this to happen. There is no incentive, like I said, for them to do that. So there's going to be nobody going to barber college. And I've been taught. Well, Roderick Samuel, shout out to Roderick. He just opened up a barber college in Southgate.
Okay.
And he's getting people. It's doing very well there. But at the same time, back in the day when I was coming up, it would have been waiting list probably for months.
Yeah.
Now it's like I said, I would have been like, what the fuck, barber? I ain't going to barber college if I would have been coming up now.
Right.
Because there's nothing that's going to happen. And it seemed like when that lady came in the other day and she was like looking around and shit, and then she's basically like, well, she's a cosmetologist. She's doing barbering in the fucking barber shop. And I'm thinking, hold up. You ever go in your car and fucking put on the radio and hear Lady Jane's come in and get a hot towel shave? What? You're gonna give them a hot towel shave with a straight razor right out, and they're right on the radio? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fucking the rules, man, and the laws when it comes down to this shit are just so fucked up now. And I don't know. Maybe they're gonna do something. I don't wish nothing on nobody. I want everyone to do what they do, but these guys right here coming in here and talking about shutting down my barber shop where, this is how I feed my family. I have 4 kids and a wife. They're going to shut it down. When I have a license, when I was 19 years old, I had to wake up every morning. You know how hard it is for a 19-year-old kid, man, to freaking complete some shit like that, especially, the shit I used to do.
Right.
It was crazy, man, So it is what it is. But the state board, man, when they start doing their job, things will be different, and then there'll be more money for the state. But up until then, people are going to continue to do what they do, and I do not blame them. What would you do?
As far as
If things were the way they are here in Michigan, back in Ohio, when you first going to become a barber, what would you have done if you could just go get a job? Would you have?
I mean, I would. Obviously the easier answer. If I could just go in a shop and work, I would do it. But I feel like rationally, any big decision I make, I always go through my dad through it. Because I always feel like he's always gonna give me an honest answer of what I should do.
Yeah.
So if I were to ask him, he would more than likely he's gonna tell me I think you should go to school for it. You know what I mean? Just because for the fact of what I said, to actually, be certified. Because if I would have did that, okay, say if I went
Definitely
in
better go
yeah,
to Las Vegas.
that's what I was gonna say too. I can't travel with it because I'm not certified and licensed. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I just feel like overall it's better to just. I think 1 year of your life is.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying earlier. I really feel because like I said, I just had to go through all this shit. I haven't heard or talked about the state board in I opened up here in 2005. They came here for the initial inspection. I've never seen them again. You don't hear about them. It's just not a thing. So I've been talking to them, a little bit and finding out, like, trying to figure out what's going on with the whole, what should I look out for? Am I going to be walking on eggshells? I need to be on my P's and Q's now because shit, man, that's some serious shit for them to say cease and desist on some shit that I didn't even do.
Right.
The fact that those words came on a letter, that's a big deal. So it seems like these guys are about to really, really start coming in and cracking down. Like they got these hit squads out and all this shit now. I guess they're supposedly already doing it. So they're gonna basically, I don't know what they're gonna do, but if they continue to do what they're doing, they're gonna ruin people's lives because there's so many people that are unlicensed. They're gonna go and open up shops, and you got all these barbers, and then all of a sudden, you settle down, you have a wife, you have a few kids, you got a mortgage, you got 2 car payments, motherfucking all these bills, and then you're gonna be like, hey, you're unlicensed, we're gonna put a chain on your door, all your barbers have to go, if you guys come back, blah, blah, threaten them, and what are they gonna do? You can't go to fucking barber college, man, at that point.
Right.
You got responsibilities. So it's really, really, really fucked up on the part of the state. Because it's gonna ruin people,
Well, I mean, and as far as if we want to jump into another topic or not, but you was talking about barber school and everything like that. How was the barber school when you were there? Like as far as like how informative were they to you? Like, do you feel like you learned a lot when you was there?
Listen, everybody knows them, but you don't learn shit in barber college.
Right. Okay. That's
you don't learn barber. I went to Detroit Barber College. Detroit Barber College was open for like fucking 70 years or something. It was in Southwest Detroit on Junction and Michigan Avenue back in the day. And then they moved to the Dearborn on Michigan Avenue in Schaefer. And I was 19 years old. And man, I was ass. But guess what? I was the best one there. I was the best one there. And I I am with people, man. I'm a people person. I was always the one that stands in the front. Hey, how you doing, sir? I was in Detroit Barber College. Hey, I got you. Come on. Fucking, you want a flat top, brother? I can't do no flat top. But senior citizen day Thursdays, my brother be like, hey, here goes a quarter. Get yourself a cup of coffee. Where the fuck they do that at? Yeah, where they got that at? But here goes the thing. You never know who you're talking to or what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Because I took care of things for the guy, old man, Mr. Gursky, Mr. G. Shout out to Mr. Gursky. He's still cutting hair. He's in Dearborn Heights.
Mr. what?
Mr. Gursky, man, Mr. G. And nobody knew it, but he was closing it down for good, right?
The college?
The Barber College for good. It's no longer there.
Right.
And I was the last person to graduate. I got my 2,000 hours, and he closed down the next day. You want to know why he left? He did that because I was not the one in the, hey, some customers are coming. Oh shit. Bathroom real quick. You're up on top of the toilet and shit.
Yeah.
People did that.
No,
I because who do I don't want to fucking cut hair for free. So, I took care of things, and I always was.
Yeah.
I basically kind of ran the barber college as a student, in the
Right.
student aspect. I'm not saying I ran shit, but So after that, he closed down, and there was people there that had shit, 200 more hours, 300 more hours, and the list goes on. 150 more hours. They had to transfer to Lansing or Flint or Detroit. And a lot of people there, man, they had to go all the way to Lansing because they wouldn't go to those type like Flint or Detroit.
Would you go to Flint?
Hell no.
Exactly. I wouldn't either.
I'd rather not, but I would have had to do what I had to do.
Right.
So, but nobody learned shit in barber college, man.
Really don't. I didn't either. I'm gonna keep it real. I really didn't either. A lot of people could vouch for it too.
Learn in the barber shop.
And I don't get it though, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I get it, like, they probably, trying to every day teach a group of people that, especially with, barbering is one of those things that's like a real prideful thing, you know what I mean? Like, you tell them, like, hey, let me show you this. What do you mean? Like, it's disrespect, you know what I'm saying? Like,
People
you're telling me I suck. Yeah,
Yeah.
And I feel like after that, if you think, okay, look, say you try to teach, like, 30 kids for, like, 10 years straight, right? This, and that, try this, try that. Like, fuck you, you know what I mean? Like, no, like, after a while, you're like, all right, man, you know what I mean? I just don't, you ain't gonna want to teach them, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of it's a lot of prideful things. Even now, like, I think that's why the guys I work with we get along so good. Like, there's been times where, like, say if I'm off that day, one of my boys be like, hey man, you need to pick it up, or you need to work on this, or your line's a little off, you know what I'm saying, your fade is, and I'll be like, okay, all right, same thing, it's like, if you can take criticism, you're gonna be great,
Mm-hmm.
regardless. I don't care if your level's down here, up here. If you could take criticism, you'll always be great.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you only see things one way and other people can see it other
I
ways,
was like that too.
and I just feel like then that's gonna help you learn. You know what I mean? I feel like that's why I've been able to have the success I've been able to have is just because I listen. I know when to shut up. You know what I mean?
Trial and error.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, I remember I had the Angus Masters back then. We called them Asters.
Fucking, I hate Andes, bro.
I still have some, but I don't blend with them. I just take down bulk or whatever. But I remember I thought I was a shit. Uh-oh.
My bad.
But anyways, look at. I remember when I was in Barber College, there was a guy named Sean that used to live down the street from me on Norman, right? Black dude. This motherfucking guy was out cold. I'm talking about out cold, and he never used guards. He would have the walls and his clippers, no guards. He would just rake them out, no guards, right? I don't care what it is, man. He'll draw in the back of your head with the walls. Those were his trimmers as well. He used to make the wall so sharp to where like this is the trimmer. Cut it and then line up with the damn clippers. I swear to God, and he could draw anything in the back of your head. I promise you, he could put this. Oh yeah, shout out to Suavecito and the new scent. Got the skull.
It was called like that.
He would. One time I was like, put the Playboy bunny in the back of my head, smoking a blunt, right? And the smoke was going into the fade. He did the whole thing. I swear to God, I wish I had a picture of this shit, just with the walls. So I used to try to do that, and I was doing that out through Barber College, and everyone thought I was so fucking sweet, right? That Jay sweet as fuck. I got into my first day at the barber shop, like in the hood, and I was trying that shit, and the lady's like, she said, you gotta use a guard. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm sweet as a motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Who told you need to use a guard?
It was a barber there, the lady that owned it. Her
Okay.
name was Jennifer. And I think she still cuts, she's up on 4th Street or something. I ain't seen her in years, but I was like, what? And that's when I learned that when I went into the barber college, I thought I knew everything. I thought I was a fucking barber guy. Then when I got into barber college, I realized I ain't no shit. So then when I left barber college, I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't ready for me out here. I'm about to just fucking kill the game, right?
Right.
Then I realized, once again, I do not know shit. So it's a fucking process, and I still need to, there's so much that I need to learn that keeps on changing.
Right.
And back to what I'm saying, what we were saying about the, whole licensing, right?
Yeah.
The barber industry has become the shit. It's become the shit, man, and products and, barber expos. I never thought I'd see this. It's become great.
Well, I know last year barbering in general, or the hair industry, I should say in general, grossed like $1.6 billion.
Yeah.
So as a whole, you know what I'm saying, cosmetology and barbering.
Mm-hmm.
But it's blowing up, which is cool. But it's like, I feel like people just see it as a lot of people I know like that. Oh, that's a good hustle, man. But it's not a hustle because it's a career. Like this is literally how I live. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone looks at it.
And it's not a hustle at all. Like it's just like anything else. You don't put your all into it. Or you put anything into it. Because people think, oh, I'm just going in, or like a lot. Like say if this shop, say it was just booming all the time, right? Like mad heads walking in, everybody. You know what I mean? People are like, oh yeah, it's easy, but it's not because you understand the time, the advertising, the money you got to put in. And I just feel like a lot of people don't.
Tears, man.
Exactly, and I feel like a lot of people don't see it that way. Like at the end of the day, it is a career. It is something that you know what I mean. Like that's how we live. That's how we eat. You know what I mean? And I feel a lot of people just look at it like, oh, it's just cutting hair. It's just cutting. All right, you stand on your feet for what 12, 14 hours you want. You know what I mean? And a lot of misconception. I know. Like I realize people be like, like oh, I can cut. I'm crispy. Like. Okay, you did one head, and it took you, what, about an hour 15? Like, say it took you an hour and a half to do it? Hour?
Yeah.
Now, imagine doing that now 15 more times. Because everybody you hit, just like anything else, you got to be consistent. You got to be damn near perfect, you know what I mean? Whatever you're cutting, every single head. And just imagine concentrating. Like, you've done a long drive before, right? Like, across the country or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, you got to concentrate on the road for that long. It's exhausting, right?
Yeah.
Same thing when you cut hair. You know how it is. Like, staring at the hair, you got to think of certain ways. Like, it's a lot that goes into it, man.
Yeah, well, you gotta understand, man. You ever heard of the barber union? There's a barber union here in Michigan. Like, if you see videos of a barber shop back in the day opposed to now, dog, it is, man, it was like very professional. People dressed up, suits, whatever, ties, and it was like, there was a union. Okay, the barber union, man, there's no such thing as that anymore because there's no numbers, there's no union. In order to have a union, you have to have a number. You know what I mean? And it's just, majority of the barbers, man, is it's turned this barber industry into like a very unprofessional ghetto type of situation compared to the way it was before. And it's not as respected as the cosmetology industry. Cosmetology industry has $1 billion brand.
Yeah, no, I agree. 100%.
Okay, there is no $1 billion brands in the barber industry, you know, and the people that are doing it are doing it, but that's not the majority. People are just, you know, what do they got to lose? They're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this hustle. This is a hustle, and I'm just gonna go do my thing and make some money. And if fucking shit pops off, I could just roll out. It's all that. So another thing that I wanted to bring up is these motherfuckers are gonna. Like I said, I don't have nothing against people that are unlicensed as an individual.
Right, I don't as well.
I don't either. But here goes the thing: the board wants to come and give me a ticket and basically close the doors to my shit because I have unlicensed barbers. But tell me where the fuck there's licensed barbers looking for a job in Ohio? Where do we have to pick from? So it is what it is, man. You know, because there is no. It's very, very hard to find. I didn't have barbers here for a long time, a few times, you know.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. You have to do what you have to do, and it's putting the barbershop owners in jeopardy. You know what I mean? They're putting them, they're walking on eggshells because they have no choice but to hire an unlicensed barber in their barbershop in order for them to freaking strive.
Right.
So what do you think about that?
I mean, I think nowadays, like, I think you're right as far as, like, we'll back up a little bit, like, as far as what you feel like it's not as professional, I feel like you're right on that. I feel like it is it's getting a little more, I don't know the term to use, like, as far as professionalism is getting kind of, like, watered down a little bit, because it's hard, especially these days, because it's like a lot of today is like people want something, they want it now, like
instant gratification.
Exactly, and not only that, but like as far as a customer coming into a shop, you know, they want to be like, you know, it's not as professional as far as like suits and everything like that, but I feel like
it's just the times though.
Yeah, it is. You know what I mean? Things grow.
Back in the 50s and 60s.
But people are starting to get more creative. You know what I mean? I feel like that's cool and all. Like, if you want to dress up, like
I'm doing it anyway.
I know, but I'm just saying. But I feel like people feel more comfortable if people are themselves. Like, okay, like say if you like love Nike, you're just Nike'd out. You got another dude that's, you know, another barber that loves Adidas, so he's gonna be Adidas out. Or you gotta do it like he's wearing skateboard gear. He wears. People are always gonna gravitate to what they feel comfortable to. Yeah. So like, okay, so if I walk in and I'm really into no, like, you know, hip hop or no type of, you know what I mean, up and coming new things, but I'm into skateboarding. More than likely, I'm gonna gravitate to what they do wearing the skateboard gear because that's what I feel comfortable with. Yeah. So I feel like that's what it's coming to. I feel like the creativity is getting, you know, is growing more than it is. But at the same time, there are shops, you know, that, you know, smoke weed and they're cussing. Walk up in the shop, man, motherfucker's pants are all the way down to his freaking ass. That guy's ass cheeks sticking out. Yeah. That's a lot, man. That's a lot of what's going on in the barber industry right now. But you feel that somebody with the license will take it more seriously, as in being on time and stuff like that, than another one? No, I didn't think so either, because I've seen it on both sides. And like I said, like I'll back up to what I said earlier. When you bring up a group of people in a you know, like unlicensed or licensed or whatever it is, there's always a good and bad in each one. Always. But where's the majority? What is the majority of each one? Is the majority doing shitty shit? Or is the majority doing, you know, being professional? I'd say the majority is doing a bad job, and that's the only reason why I say it is because there's been a lot of people that I've ran into as far as, you know, people are saying, oh, I've been, you know, going barber to barber, you know, and I can't find one, you know, he's not on time, or I can't find one that, you know what I mean, or whatever the hell the case is, you know what I mean, that I didn't like the environment, you know what I mean. But I remember somebody always told me, like, as far as like barbering or any business at all, if kids or women don't feel comfortable in your business, you're done. Like, it doesn't. Yeah. You know what I mean? As far, especially with a barbershop, if, you know, because men and women talk more. You know what I mean? That's just women nature. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you do, you know what I mean? They bring their son in, you cut their hair, and they do a great job. She's gonna tell their girlfriends, you know, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's a good way to, you know what I mean? That's good. Like I said, anytime women or men, because you know what I mean, say, oh, you have your wife, right? And your wife goes somewhere and, you know, she don't feel comfortable there. You know what I mean? Or like, say it's a grocery store you guys both go to, and your wife and your kid don't feel comfortable going in there, but you do. More like you're not gonna keep going there because your wife don't, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same concept.
Yeah,
I feel like, you know what I mean? If you're smoking weed and you listen to, you know, like, you know what I mean, cussing, like what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Got your kid coming in, you motherfucking walk up in the barber shop, got 2 Live Crew and shit, and then motherfuckers talking about some sexual shit.
Showing your age right now, man.
Yeah, right. You know about that, but yeah, like that's just common courtesy as a person anyway. And the majority, like I said, can be pretty goddamn ghetto, man, and unprofessional. But that goes for any industry, really. But when it comes down to that, man, you gotta just be a common courtesy as a person. When a little kid walks up in the barber shop, you're still talking about what you did last night with homegirl and talking about positions, and I've heard it all, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why the barber industry is not respected, man. It's not. It's really not respected like it was at one time, and that's, you know, that's the reason why. It's like salons, cosmetology, 100% respected industry, and it's because it is what it is. The people made it that. It's up to us, man, to try to make a change in our industry, you know, because there's so many people that are not going to speak out on the stuff that we're talking about, you know, because, you know, their fear of backlash and stuff like that. And anything that we said is not disrespectful. We're not being disrespectful. We're keeping it real, you know what I mean? But it's something that needs to be talked about, because it's something that's like everybody's thinking it, but no one's saying shit.
Yeah.
You ever hear anyone say anything?
Well,
You know, you don't hear people saying shit because it's something that it's just like hush hush.
Well, no, I mean,
but if somebody wants to make a change in their industry, you know, they're gonna have to talk about it.
Yeah, I think at the end, I mean, I feel like there's 2 reasons. Like, it's one, like you said, it's like when something that's going on, but don't really talk about. At the same time, though, like, I really don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, like,
as long as we're winning,
there's enough people.
But at the same time, man. But
no, I was just gonna say, there's enough people in wherever you're at, whatever city, town, for, you know what I mean, you to cut, me to cut, like, for us to still make money together.
So when it comes to that,
yeah. And then I feel like just if me going out of my way to like hate on somewhere, put somebody down, like that doesn't grow my business. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like if I wanted, you know what I mean, talk shit about somewhere or whatever, like I could do whatever I want to try to, like, you know what I mean, put somebody down. But
that's the thing, man, in this industry too. Dog, I've seen barbers, man, just hating on other barbers so bad, and just getting other people involved, and then, you know, birds of a flock. What does it say?
Birds of a feather flock.
Yeah, you know, and then they'll get everybody standing around their phone, blowing shit up and trying to find the error and shit, and it's just like, dog, that's 100% not going to make you any more money or get you any sort of respect. No. You get respected from the people that are freaking laughing with you, but in all reality, it's not doing anything. In this industry, man, people hate on each other so bad. I think, like, shit, man, more people in the industry hate on each other than not, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, that's 100% true, it really is. Especially, like, where I'm from, you know, in Toledo, we got a lot of talent, man, I'm not gonna lie. We have a lot of talented barbers, young, old, and they don't, I remember, you know, a couple of barbers I follow on Instagram, you know, they're real positive talkers, you know what I mean? That, you know, they say, you know, it costs no money to compliment somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I try to make it a point to always, like, especially if I see a barber that does something, he does like a nice design or a good haircut, you know what I mean? It just comment under there, you know, hey, good job, or this is a good cut, you're getting better. Because I feel like barbering already, it can be discouraging, especially if you're not booming as much as the busy barber is, you know what I mean? And I feel like if we just help lift each other up, man, just something as little as a comment, you know what I mean? Because obviously, like I said, barbering is a prideful thing. So like, if you feel like you're always worried, like, is this a good haircut, or am I doing good? Like, when you got other people that, you know what I mean, skill level's a little better than you, but if they tell you you're doing a great job, it's gonna make you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Just like anything else. You think if Michael Jordan tells LeBron James, hey, you had a great game, you did a good job, it's gonna make him feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you know what I mean? It's the same thing. I just feel like barbering is general, like, no matter where it is, Ohio, Michigan, like, there is a lot of that.
Afghanistan, wherever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like it is a lot of that. There's no unity, you know what I mean? And really, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be considered a brotherhood, you know what I mean?
Do you think it's possible for the barber union to make a comeback? No? I was always thinking that, because that shit was like security. You know what I mean? With security,
I think
man, for barbers.
That's a great idea. It really is. I mean, anytime you have anybody to back you up in a situation, I mean, I feel like that's great. It's a.
Do you guys do this in Ohio? Do you guys do what's the word I'm looking for when you could come in and work underneath somebody?
Intern?
Yeah, do they do that?
No, we don't. I think
they used to do it here in Michigan.
Did they? They did it in New York too for a while.
Yeah, they were doing an internship, but then back to what I'm saying, the ghetto-ness of the barber industry. Motherfuckers take advantage of it, and they got like 10 people working under them, and just so all over the place. And they're like, "Fuck it, we got to put a stop to it." But in cosmetology, they do have that. You could work as a cosmetologist underneath somebody. So, you know what? It is what it is. There's nothing you could really do about it. You could speak on it, you know, and try to get people to, you know, make a change as a group. But you know, it's gone pretty damn far. You know what I mean? They're not. I don't think it's something that could come back. Because wouldn't that be cool as hell, man? You know, instead of go to barber college, just go work under a licensed barber and get your hours like that.
I think
I would love to do that. I think that this is I dedicated my life to this industry. Okay, since I haven't did anything else, I barely had any other job in my whole life, and there's some stuff that I would like to see change. You know what I mean? And that's one of them right there. Maybe it's something that you know I could get some people involved in to bring back, you know, internships in the barber shop, the barber union, and stuff like that to make it more professional, respected industry. But in order to do that, man, I have to get people involved and speak on it. You know, a lot of people don't want to speak on that because, you know, they're gonna feel like they're gonna offend somebody or someone's gonna think this or think that. But what are some of the greatest people on earth? Martin Luther King. He had something that he believed in that nobody would speak on, right? And that one person spoke out and everybody joined because they were so excited that somebody, you know, had a voice in something that they believed in, right?
That's what
and that's what it all boils down to.
That's what anything though, you know what I mean? All it takes is one person to speak about anything. It don't matter what it is.
And guess what? 50% of people are going to love you unconditionally. The other 50% of people are going to hate you unconditionally, and that's if you're going to reach the level of greatness, that's just something that you're going to have to endure, you know?
They also say 60% of the time it works every time.
Ooh, hello. I mean,
makes 0 sense.
So what's up, man? What else you want to talk about?
No matter, man. Whatever you want. I mean,
let's talk about this scar right here.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Where'd you even get that?
Suavecito, man. I tell you what. I didn't even really know this, but they have different scents for the seasons. Did you know that?
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing that for a couple of years.
Well, I knew it for a while, but I didn't know it years ago when we used to have Suavecito here. And this one right here, man, this is the best one that they've ever had. And I got, what we get? Spring, summer, and then, you already checked it out?
What's this one?
That's the new one that just came out. It's the fall joint.
Calaca.
That stuff smells good, man.
Hell no.
You don't like it?
Smells like old man, dude.
For real?
Yeah.
I think this is my favorite one. See, that's the beauty, man.
Let me smell one more time.
Nah, no, you already
Let me
fucked that up for
Let me smell
yourself.
one more time, dude.
All right.
I see it.
Maybe you would have liked it. Last one, I didn't like it all, and everyone loved it.
It's like that old like green soap that like old people be having like
oh,
that bar
shit.
soap like
what are you about the cologne that they had that looks like an old car? You ever seen that? It's like looks like an old car that your grandpa would have on his dresser. Yeah.
That's your hard though. Like that. That's
I've been wanting to get this thing for a while, man, but
you don't
got the skull.
You don't sell Layrite no more?
Yeah, I got Layrite. Got all kinds of Layrite. We got shitload of Layrite over there.
Right.
What's your favorite product?
Man, Suavecito is where it's at.
You always love Suavecito.
I do. For one, the name's cool. for two, their scents are always on point, man. The original scent, they're normal. You know what I mean? The original is anytime I put that in anybody's hair, instantly. What is that? Where did you put my hair every time? I remember, man. I always said, "David, come on, cologne. I'm gonna get it." And you got that shit the first week. You got the cologne. No, you got the air freshener. Don't act like you didn't have the air freshener. I had the air
Try to
freshener.
make it look better. It wasn't the fucking air freshener, dog.
No, it was if they had a cologne. I always said if they had a cologne, I'm getting it.
I want that cologne.
Layrite is cool, but it's like they do this. It's the vanilla scent and everything. Like I get it. You know
what's fucked up, man? We have killed it in Layrite throughout the years here, but
for
some reason it is not popping right now. Layrite is not popping. The shampoo, that's the best shampoo.
The Layrite shampoo. I remember you saying.
You have it? I'll give you some.
Yeah.
That is the best shampoo, dog. You only got to use this much, and you know how a lot of people think that they have dandruff. but in fact they have dry scalp. They just don't know it. That right there is the best for dry scalp.
I need that.
So I got some for you. I'll hook you up, man. For my brother coming out, man, doing this podcast with me.
Need a whole package.
But I don't know what it is, man. That shit's been popping here for years and years, man, and it just kind of slowed down. Like people ain't really getting the pomade. There's some people that get it and they're like, they love lay right. You know what I mean? But lately, man, it's just been Suavecito and Uppercut, dog. Uppercut, the matte pomade, that is the best matte pomade.
Yeah, no, was it like a lemon
Green.
scent?
It's the green one. It looks like peanut butter and shit's brown.
Oh,
I don't care
yeah,
for the smell personally, but everyone loves it.
It's like a cappuccino smell, right? Like
yeah,
coffee.
Exactly, like coffee.
Yeah, who doesn't like coffee smell? Even if you don't drink coffee, people like coffee
I love
smell.
coffee, man. I kind of want some coffee. I wish we had some right now.
You need to get like a
But
little
you know what?
percolator.
Hey, by the way, does everybody see that this is floating? I can't believe it hasn't flew up yet. But yeah, you know what? That uppercut is great for barbers. You wanna know why?
Why?
Because it washes out your hand fast as hell between haircuts. Suavecito, you're ever scrubbing it.
You think so?
Oh yeah, man.
It's water soluble.
No, that shit, man, it's easy to get out, but it takes a little bit longer, you know, when you're in a hurry. That shit right there, you're just like, you're gone. And then you got the hamster ass barbers that work for you that always like to not wash their hands with the Suavecito and then use the broom.
And the broom's all
yeah,
sticky.
so then you go back and you're like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
dog? Oh, you nasty motherfucker. Oh yeah. What about clippers, man? What you using nowadays?
Wall, still wall, everything.
Wall, everything?
This is my lineup. I got 2 pair of the cordless wall seniors. Switch
Ass.
Okay, so we got those 2 cordless, switching between those. Still wall detailers.
Of course, you got the wall. What's it called? What are the ones I use? I can't think right now. Magic clips.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Those are my shit.
I still have them, but I don't use them.
You always been big on clippers too. You always got to show.
I was, man, but honestly, I just kind of, I don't know, it's been at a standstill lately with that. So the 2 cordless wall seniors, wall detailer. I actually use the Andis Supra, the detachable.
Yeah.
That's a great clip. It really is. That clip is dope. And then wall smart shavers. That's it.
You know what's funny?
What's up?
I know you remember this shit. Years ago, all you guys used to have those Andis Balders, the shaver.
Yeah.
And you always used the walls. And everybody's like, that's ass, that's ass.
Which one?
And I would still use the wall balders or the wall shavers.
Yeah.
And those things fucking suck because they just go out all the time. But now that I switched over and now I'm using the Andis shaver, I go back. That day when you cut my hair, what are you using? Motherfucking walls. The wall shaver. You went back.
Not the box one.
Yeah, you had those box ones in Vegas. And you said that a lot of barbers are using those again. though. They stopped using those because those things, I think they made them better, but they used to get to the point where you use them and it's like, bam.
No,
then they would just stop.
The ones I got, they're called Wall Smart Shaver. Like this, really it's like some higher class stuff. Like it's gonna tell you like how much battery life and everything.
Oh, has it got like a little screen on there?
Yeah, like a
you're lit, dog.
As you got, you know what I mean? Stay up on the game.
What about your straight razor game? What do you got, man?
I use the well, as far as razors right now, I got Astra. That's what, as far as the blades. Astra, bro. The blades is Astra, and then I use the Turkish razor holder.
Oh, the Turkish joint? Yeah, those are sweet as hell.
I'm not going back to nothing else. Like, I absolutely love that.
What's your favorite pomade?
Price. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real.
You said Suavecito.
No, but it's not though. It's actually the red one.
Red what?
The red one.
Oh, that you like that?
Hell yeah!
I never use it.
That one in particular, if everybody I use that on is like, I need to know what that is. Like it smells like every single scent they got smells like candy.
Hold up, man. All right, that's Johanny the barber, the Puerto Rican chick.
Yeah, she's like sponsored by them.
Yeah, that's her shit. I think.
No, that's not her.
You sure? Because when we were in Connecticut at the Barber Expo, she was like had her own booth, and I thought that was her.
Well, she was the first one they sponsored. When Redland first.
She's a beast.
Yeah, no, she really
She's
is.
fucking good, dog.
She really is. No, especially, you know, yeah. Yeah, she's good. She's good.
She never changed.
Yeah.
Squeak method.
Squeak method.
Yeah. Remember when I seen them that day? You were like, "You motherfucker!" When we were at the Barber Expo.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was your
picture
shit.
of them.
I don't care, man. I can't do that squeak method. That shit's too much, dog.
Nah, that shit was funny, man.
The Squeak Method. We had fun, didn't we?
We had a lot of
Squeak
fun, bro. We had
Method.
a lot of good
What's
times,
his name?
man.
Squeak the Barber?
Yeah.
Okay, shouts out to Squeak the Barber. Maybe he'll see this.
Yeah, he's
This
beast.
guy right here used to watch your videos.
All
He'd be
the time,
doing like
man.
I think it was a #1 closed.
Yeah.
I forget what it was. And I'd be in the barbershop like, Squeak Method. I told him about that shit. He thought it was funny.
Bro,
They did him wrong, dog. Did you see how they did that dude, man?
No.
You seen that shit, man. It was like 2 years ago. It was some poo butt ass motherfucking guy that was like, he was running the barber, it was like a barber battle. And he was like, all right, we got a first place, Squeak, right? And he comes out and shit. Everyone's like, yeah, and he's like, nah, I'm just playing. Homeboy, man, was like, how else would you feel? And he was like, just straight clown him in front of everybody, right? And he made a post, man. He's like a long ass post. He was pissed, man. And that dude was like, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I'm like, dog, get the fuck out of here, man. Doing some shit like, you never seen that?
Nah.
Yeah,
Boy,
that was grimy, dog.
we get done with this.
That was a long time ago, man. But it was a couple years ago.
What's one song, if you had to pick, that reminds you of remember when we all worked together here? I already got one. I already know one.
I already know what it is, man.
No, you don't. What is it? If you could guess it, bro.
It's probably some bullshit,
No,
man.
it's
Yeah,
not.
it is.
No, it's a classic song. It's a classic song.
Like, as an older?
It's an older. It's not like
'Cause
old, but
back-
it's like early 2000s.
Oh, hell no.
Bro, once I tell you,
That shit.
no.
Oh, don't tell me, man. Give me what you start with. Who's the artist? What you start with? Why you looking like that?
Cause I want you to guess it.
Damn, dog. I can't remember right now, B. What's you start with?
Jake is the artist.
Oh, why? Dog, that's my shit.
Bro, anytime
You always think about me when you hear that shit, man. Don't you? You said that was my shit.
No,
Oh yeah, look all weird, dog.
I think about you. Nah, that song, man, we used to listen. Remember, every time I put that on, you'd be like,
yeah, we're gonna listen to that on the way when we go grab some food right now.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so what else, man? What's new, man? What's old? What's up, man? We're about to
Pretty much same.
this one right here is gonna go viral, man. We're gonna make it go viral. We're gonna put it on IG, YouTube. Check it out, the Limitless Barbershop Podcast. We're gonna throw it on YouTube, but I'm gonna see about. I still ain't figured it out, man. Like how you could put a whole full video on Instagram.
You gotta do put it as Instagram too.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna do that because here goes the thing, guys. I have we have 4 other episodes, but I was doing them on Facebook Live, and after you do it on Facebook Live, you cannot just take the video and save it onto your phone.
Right.
And there's a process, and I had to have someone do some shit with it. What time is it?
8:45.
Okay. So now that I'm just pre-recording it, I'm gonna be able to do whatever I want with it. We get to take clips and put it on IG and stuff like that.
Right.
We're gonna tag some people, man, and I love this podcast, man. And it's definitely one of my favorites because we kept it real on some shit, man, that people don't want to talk about, and it's something that just affected me, man. Could have been financially and mentally, and I would have fucking went crazy, dog. If they would have closed my barbershop down, you wouldn't have seen me for a while. I don't know what I would have did. But it's just the fact that they're gonna go ahead and try to govern me, man, and try to like put me onto some shit, man. When I think this is one of I was younger at one time and we were wild, man. But if you look at my reviews speak for themselves. We have the best reviews on Google. We have the best reviews on Facebook. 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 4, whatever the fuck. And I'm licensed. I'm a licensed barber. I'm a licensed professional, and as of right now, I have everyone in here that's licensed, and I just hired a new girl today. Her name's Katie. She's a good barber, man, and she's a licensed cosmetologist, and I have to go and do the right thing right now in order to stay with my head above water, And it is what it is, man. I don't like it. I really wish that they would just say, fuck it. No license at all. I ain't gonna lie. So then guess what? Then we don't have to worry about the board coming in here and giving me a couple $1,000 fine, because it's all about money at the end of the day. I'm in this shit to make money. I'm in this to make the most money as I can. So if anyone's over here like looking at us like we're hating or whatever, no. If it came down to it and they said, all right, Jay, it's up to you. What do you want to do? You want these guys to have to go to do 2,000 hours because you did, or just say fuck it? I think that they should go underneath somebody and do an apprenticeship and get professional like that, and still have of laws and stuff like that, and rules to live to work by and stuff like that, and punishment and stuff like that. But all that crazy shit, man, if they're not going to practice what they preach,
Yeah.
you know, they don't need to have it at all, you know. So that's it. But shit, man, we're gonna tell him your handle, man. Tell him your handle. Jesus Juice, baby.
Jesus Juice.
What about Facebook?
Jesus
Castilla.
Castilla. Jesus Castilla.
Yep. Follow my boy, man, for sure. This guy right here has always been doing it big. And this guy's getting buff like a motherfucker lately too, man. I seen you out here, man. You posting all your workouts.
Let's try to, man.
I saw you finally put up the 30s the other day, man. I was like, go, Jesus. Go, Jesus.
Dude, nah, it's been a long journey, man, as far as the whole fitness thing, man. It really is. And
Bro, I don't like telling people I'm proud of them. I'm proud of you, man. I see you out here.
Appreciate
because
it, man.
I see when you first started off, man, and you've been basically documenting, you know, what you're doing.
Trying to.
And then I looked the other day, I'm like, this motherfucker don't put up in, what, 80s in the last video?
Today I did
100?
100 today.
That's what I'm saying.
All
Protein.
Try to, man. That's the hardest part is eating. One of my good friends I work next to, man. What?
Dog, I forgot to bring this up, man.
What?
I went on your Instagram. I forget what you put, but you were making some eggs, and you said some dumb shit after that, man.
Oh, exactly how I wanted them?
Yeah, you're like, exactly how I wanted them. What's wrong with you, man? You said, I got the dry humor. That's why we get along, because of shit like that.
Smart, bro. Like,
You said exactly how I wanted them.
Yeah, bro,
That's crazy.
My eggs were on point.
But check it out. I'm talking, so I have one more chair available right now. And I'm talking to a barber right now. I'm going to interview him tomorrow, see how things work out. But as of right now, the chair is still up for grabs. And, you know, we're going to be open tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Are you going to be cutting tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be in at 11 tomorrow.
Why 11?
That's what time I'll be in.
Uh-huh.
That's what time my first appointment's at 11.
Oh, okay. All right, so we'll be here at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Definitely come by and check this out. Like this stuff right here, I love it, man. And I haven't used suavecito in my hair in a long time. I don't know why. And I put it in today, and I'm like, man, this shit works a lot better, man, than the shit I was using. And you know me, you know some of the brands, they'll send you some samples and shit. I use all that stuff at the house or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot of it's ass, but I'm gonna start using this.
I love suavecito though, man. It's all faithful.
You know, but I want to have a lot more barbers, man. If you're a barber and you want to come on and want to talk some shit, you know, if there's something that you want to talk about, there's a subject that you want to bring to light, you know, as of right now, I'm in the process of, you know, I have somebody helping me out where I could, we're going to put everything on iTunes, Spotify, we're going to get a website, and we're going to really, you know, this is my fifth episode, and I got my feet wet, and I love it, man. I really, really enjoy having, you know, people on here. I know some important people, some interesting people, some funny people. So I said, why not take advantage of them? Put it on camera, put it on wax real quick, you know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take it to the next level, and you know, we're gonna try to build this YouTube channel. And like I said, in one more year, who am I gonna have on? What I tell you, Nostradamus. I have Nas on the podcast in 1 year. That's my goal.
So you're gonna be on that J. Cole song, so I can't believe I let Nas down. Hey, but for the next one, I'm gonna bring my boy from the dude I work next to. I'm gonna bring him with me to the next one. He wants to be on it, so
yeah.
Shout out to him and Marcus.
Shit,
Marcus Crawford.
Oh yeah. I never met him, but yeah, you've been working for a long time.
That's my dog. Like,
That's
my
your dude, huh?
Yeah, so I'm gonna bring him with me the next time, man. He's real, like I said, he's real interested in doing it.
Yeah, I would love to, man. Like everybody that has an opinion, man, about anything or any kind of subject. It don't have to be about barbering. This is not a podcast about barbering. This is about just
different shit.
Like anything that happens, man, I don't care what it is. We can come out here and we speak our opinion. We have fun. You know, that's all there is to it. So, the Limitless Barbershop Podcast. It'll be on YouTube. I'm gonna put yours is live down there, right?
I think it is. I don't know. I need it.
Because
I had a call during it, so I don't know if that messed it up.
You got all your hyenas on there talking shit, probably, huh?
I had to check it out.
Jesus, why ain't you home yet? Yep, so Limitless Barbershop Podcast, we're going to be on YouTube. This episode here will be on YouTube tonight. I'm going to try to put it on Facebook, or I'm going to put it on Facebook, Instagram, and whatever other social media platform
Right.
that I can. And we're just gonna get the word out there. And I want to hear everybody's, you know, opinion on what they think about it, either you know, good or bad, whatever it is. You know, go ahead, throw it in the comments, and you know, please get the word out there. Share, like, share. Get this out here so we could, you know, get this going. And every episode, I want to get bigger and bigger, of course, just like anything else in business. Right now, this is a passion project, you know. This we call it a passion project. I'm not making no money off of it, but the end goal is to be able to get some sponsors or whatever it might be. So, any last words, Cat Daddy Cool?
No, man, I appreciate you having me though, man. I really do.
Well, I'm
man.
so happy you came out, man. This means the world to me, you know that,
It was
man.
a long time coming, man.
For sure, man, for sure. So, your handle, everyone's got your handle. Like your page. Do you have a regular page to like, or is it just a personal page?
It's just personal page
All right.
right now. I need to make a business.
Send this
one.
boy a friend request, comment. He's gonna put it. Or do you have it recorded or no? I'll just send it to you.
You can send it to
All
me.
right, so he'll be on his page too. We're gonna wrap it up. The Limitless Barbershop Podcast. I appreciate everyone that has supported this. I know that I took a couple weeks off right now, so I'm back. We're gonna be back every week, and if you're interested in coming out, let me know. We'll make it happen. All right, we out.
Ooh.
Oh, and it finally happened.
Oh
And
shit.
it finally happened. I thought it was gonna happen a long time ago, man. I thought it was gonna happen a long time ago.